Today I'm going to tell you about some of the most terrifying sea monster legends ever recorded. The bloop. Do you believe that the ocean once released a sound so powerful that it spread across half of the Pacific Ocean? And no one knows exactly what it was. It wasn't a volcanic eruption, not an earthquake, not a submarine. It sounded like the breathing of something alive. They called it the bloop. In 1997, the U.S. underwater sensor system, originally built to track submarines during the Cold War, recorded a strange sound. It came from the cold waters near Antarctica, a place with no ship traffic and no major geological activity. The most terrifying part? Sensors nearly 5,000 km apart all picked it up clearly, as if the sound covered an entire ocean. Up to now, scientists have never recorded any biological sound on Earth that large. The bloop's frequency resembles that of a living creature. But to produce such a sound, it would have to be many times larger than a blue whale, the largest animal on the planet. So what could exceed all biological limits like that? No one knows. El Gran Maja, a creature that never fully surfaces. There are beings in the deep ocean that humans have never seen in full, only glimpses before they disappear. Among them, South American fishermen tell of a name that alone can make your hair stand on end. El Gran Maja. Most witnesses say they only ever saw a gigantic mouth, before the darkness beneath the water swallowed everything. Chilean fishermen claim El Gran Maja never surfaces like whales or sharks. It rises just beneath the surface, enough for people to see something like a massive stingray. Its mouth opens wide like a door. Its mouth isn't round like a squid's, nor pointed like a shark's, but wide enough to swallow an entire boat. Its teeth are long and sharp like metal. Above its head are glowing blue eyes like LED lights. No one has ever seen its full body, only the mouth, and then silence. What makes El Gran Maja a global mystery is that it has been reported near the same region where the bloop was detected in 1997. When the bloop echoed, many fishing boats reported, the water beneath us vibrated as if something was breathing. Not an earthquake, not cracking ice. The very next day, a fishing boat was reported missing. When wreckage was found, the torn wood curved like the bite of a massive mouth. Another case in 2008. A sailor named Morales radioed in, saying he saw a massive shadow beneath the surface like a giant ray. He described it as having no wings, just a long head, and a mouth opening so wide that I could see a massive void beneath it. Its glowing eyes stared at him as if observing. 2 minutes later, the radio signal disappeared. The boat was later found drifting ashore after 2 days, but Morales was gone. Sea Eater among countless ocean legends, there is one name that makes even the most seasoned sailors fall silent and swallow hard. A being so enormous that from afar, you would think an entire island was rising from the ocean. No one knows when it first appeared or what species it belongs to. People simply call it a name that lingers in the mind. CET, the Sea Eater. It has no eyes, no face, no recognizable features of any known creature. Its body is a colossal cylinder, stretching nearly 25 km long, taller than most mountains humans have ever climbed. Whenever it rises from the ocean, seawater cascades like rain down falling against an endless cliff. At the very center of that living mountain is a vertically opened mouth, a massive black fissure so deep that all light disappears once it enters. It cannot close its mouth. It has no muscles to do so. Its mouth remains permanently open, like a biological vacuum, constantly in a state of swallowing the entire ocean. 2 arms, each about 5 km long, extend from both sides of its body. Each arm has 5 fingers as large as stone towers. These fingers are described as being formed from countless remains of marine creatures, as if anything it consumes eventually becomes part of its body. Sea Eater inhabits the deepest regions of all 3 major oceans. It rarely surfaces, but even a small part of its body emerging is enough for observation stations to see it clearly, like a tower rising from the sea. What terrifies people most is how it moves. At the ocean floor, it uses its 2 massive arms to push its body forward, and at that scale it can reach speeds of over 1/600 km/h. But the most frightening thing about the Sea Eater is not its size or abilities. It's the feeling that it does not behave like a living creature. It does not chase ships. It does not attack humans. It does not hunt. It simply rises, opens that enormous mouth, and anything that drifts into its range, water, ice, whales, ships, vanishes into the darkness. Some theories suggest that the Sea Eater could be the source of the mysterious sounds that once shook the Pacific Ocean, the bloop. Ninjan, the most human-like creature of the deep ocean. In the dark waters of Antarctica, where sunlight has never reached, there is a creature that Japanese sailors call by a chilling name, Ninjan, meaning human. Ninjan is about 20 to 30 meters long, completely white like a frozen corpse. From a distance, it looks like a giant human silhouette, with a round, hairless head, hollow black eyes, and unusually long arms that move like fins. Its body is smooth like whale skin, no scales, no visible bones. But the most unsettling thing isn't its appearance. It's how it behaves. It does not attack. It only watches. One sailor recalled that Ninjan often rises to the surface at night. It does nothing, just stands there, staring with an empty gaze, cold like glass. Some describe it as looking at humans as if we were the strange creatures, not it. This emotionless indifference has led many to believe that Ninjan may possess a basic form of intelligence and does not see humans as anything significant. There have even been reports of Ninjan swimming alongside ships for several minutes, as if observing human behavior. To this day, no one knows. It is not a whale, not a human, not a squid or a ray. It simply rises, looks, and then disappears back into the darkness. And perhaps the most terrifying thing is not that Ninjan exists, but that it knows we exist. SCP-169, there are things in the depths of the ocean so massive that humans don't even have words to describe them. But this thing does not swim, does not hunt, does not make any sound. It simply exists, as if it were a part of the planet itself. One of them is known by the SCP Foundation as a name that even the most experienced researchers avoid mentioning. SCP-169, Leviathan, the breathing continent. No one has ever seen the entirety of SCP-169. Everything humanity knows comes from fragmented data, distorted satellite images, seafloor maps that suddenly warp, landmasses shifting despite no tectonic activity. Every time data is collected, the conclusion is always the same. It is too large to be a creature and too alive to be a continent. Its estimated length is at least 2,000 km and possibly up to 8,000 km or more. A colossal body lying deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, where any sonar device records only one thing: silence. Absolute silence. But not the silence of stone, the silence of something sleeping. The most terrifying part is not its size, but its movement. Leviathan does not wake, does not swim, but it occasionally shifts, slowly, almost imperceptibly. Yet even a movement of just a few meters triggers catastrophic effects. Magnitude 7 earthquakes in the middle of the ocean, sudden changes in seafloor depth coastlines in South America and Africa, shifting slightly GPS disruptions across thousands of kilometers, all of that, just because it changed position. Once, a satellite detected an entire section of seabed, hundreds of kilometers wide, moving like a rug being gently pulled. The Foundation issued an Omega-level alert, but after 40 minutes everything stopped, and they realized it was just breathing. They cannot destroy it. They cannot move it. All they can do is monitor it and hope it never wakes. Because if one day SCP-169 opens its eyes, if that thousands of kilometers long body rises from the ocean, sea levels would rise by tens of meters. Coastal cities would vanish. Global geology would be thrown into chaos, and the ocean would no longer be the ocean. SCP-169 is not hostile. It does not care about humans. It does not need to eat or hunt. But its silent existence alone is enough to be the greatest threat humanity has ever known. SCP-3000 in the depths where light cannot exist, where temperatures approach freezing and pressure can crush any vessel. There is something the SCP Foundation has never dared to definitively call a creature. They refer to it as SCP-3000. Those who were lucky enough to survive encounters with it call it by a far older name. Anantashesha, the endless serpent SCP-3000 stretches for hundreds of kilometers, but most of its body has never been seen. Only its enormous head rests motionless in the darkness of the Bay of Bengal, a mass of gray-black flesh, covered in thick slime. Its eyes are like two voids absorbing all light. It does not move. It does not threaten. It simply exists. And that very existence slowly erodes the mind of anyone who dares to approach it. When a researcher looks at SCP-3000, they describe the feeling as if time itself stops. Their heartbeat disappears. Sound is suffocated, and their thoughts drift away as if being pulled into the mouth of an invisible monster. Some forget their own names. Some forget their mission. Some even forget why they are alive, and a few never wake up again. But the most terrifying part is not that SCP-3000 erases memory. It's that the Foundation is forced to approach it in order to survive. Whenever SCP-3000 consumes an intelligent being, it secretes a dark blue substance known as I-909. This liquid has the ability to completely erase human memory in ways no technology can replicate. The Foundation has used it many times for major operations, to cover up disasters, to wipe the memories of witnesses, to alter the memories of high-level personnel. which means, to maintain order in the world, they have repeatedly relied on an entity that could erase them at any moment. Those sent into the depths to retrieve I-909 must sign a simple document. Return not guaranteed. Most who come back wear empty smiles. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they've done. They don't even remember why they were afraid. A few manage to say only one thing before falling into permanent silence. It knows we're looking at it. It's awake. SCP-3000 does not hunt. It does not chase anything. It simply lies there, motionless, like an ancient god, waiting for something no one understands. And each time a retrieval team returns, the water around SCP-3000 turns a deeper shade of blue, as if it is feeding more, slowly, endlessly, never stopping. Godzilla people once believed the ocean contained only whales, coral reefs, and endless darkness. That was humanity's first mistake. Because beneath the cold waters, where the Earth itself breathes out primordial radiation left over from the beginning of time, there exists a creature older than the dinosaurs. An ancient titan not born from flesh and bone, but from the very energy of the planet itself. It has many names, but the one history can never forget is Godzilla. Millions of years ago, when Earth was still a chaotic world, radiation from the planet's core was strong enough to alter any life it touched. From that, a strange species emerged with armor thicker than metal, capable of absorbing radiation like breathing air. From that species, the strongest individual rose, defeating other titans and becoming the alpha of the ancient ecosystem. Godzilla, the enforcer of balance on Earth. It is neither good nor evil. It exists with a single instinct: to preserve the planet's natural order. Over millennia, Godzilla has slept deep beneath the ocean, where radiation sustains it like flowing blood. Its dark scales beneath the withstand temperatures and the entire ocean human imagination direction. And the glowing dorsal images so distorted that scientists like can't tell whether they're looking at a civilization or the horizon itself breaking apart. But Godzilla does not rise for humanity. It awakens only when balance is broken. A surge of abnormal radiation, the emergence of a rival titan, a threat capable of wiping out the planet. And when that happens, the ocean parts like a torn curtain. The surface swells like a volcanic column, and Godzilla rises in a blinding blue glow, a light that does not mean salvation, but a warning. Its weapon, atomic breath, not fire, but a concentrated beam of nuclear energy, hot enough to melt anything in its path. When the dorsal spines along its back begin to glow, one by one from tail to head, the world knows that another titan has either bowed or is about to be erased. It does not hunt humans, but if you stand in the wrong place at the wrong time, a single swing of its tail can level an entire city. Godzilla does not rule the Earth out of ambition. It rules because no other creature is strong enough to challenge it. And no matter whether humanity calls it a monster, a disaster, or an ancient god, one truth remains: Godzilla does not fight to protect us. It fights to protect the planet from things we don't even have names for. And perhaps the most terrifying thing is not that Godzilla exists, but what could possibly force it to awaken. Titanus Scylla from the darkest depths of the ocean, where temperatures can freeze human bones within seconds, something has slept for thousands of years. A titan with a body half crustacean, half ancient sea horror. 6 legs as massive as stone pillars and tentacles stretching dozens of meters. They call it a name that alone can chill the sea: Titanus Scylla. Unlike other titans with defined forms, Scylla appears as a shifting mass of armored flesh, as if made from ice, rock, and the remains of ancient marine life. Each of its legs is sharp like a spear, capable of piercing steel, concrete, even trembling Earth itself. Sensors have recorded that whenever Scylla emerges, the surrounding temperature drops instantly. The ground freezes. Moisture crystallizes into pale frost. The Earth cracks, almost as if trying to escape from it. What makes Scylla truly terrifying is not just its strength, but how it moves. No roar, no breath, only the cold, echoing impact of its 6 legs striking the ground. It is one of the few titans capable of perfectly adapting to both deep ocean and frozen land, as if it were born during the first ice age of Earth. Cthulhu, there are things beneath the ocean that are not merely alive, but sleeping. And there is an ancient legend. When a being large enough to swallow entire cities awakens, the sea will no longer be the sea. They call it a name that most sailors dare not even speak aloud: Cthulhu. It is not a whale, not a god, not a monster. It is an ancient intelligence, existing long before humanity ever walked the earth. Descriptions of it all agree on one thing: its form is beyond human comprehension. If it ever rises, people would see a colossal figure like a forgotten god. A head like an octopus, countless tentacles hanging down, each dozens of meters long, a towering body so vast you cannot tell where it ends and the sky begins, and enormous wings stretching from its back. Its entire body appears damp, decayed, green-black like something buried in darkness for eternity. Its eyes, two faint points of light that seem to stare directly into your soul. But the most terrifying thing about Cthulhu is not its size, it's how it exists. It does not need to rise to influence the world, because even in sleep it dreams, and those dreams are enough to drive hundreds of people insane at the same time. Sensitive individuals have described hearing whispers not through their ears but inside their minds. Cthulhu is sleeping, but no sleep lasts forever. Explorers, sailors, even scientists have recorded strange signals from regions in the South Pacific, compasses spinning wildly, pressure gauges malfunctioning, signals weakening, and shared nightmares occurring on the same night. Many believe that is when Cthulhu stirs in its sleep. According to legend, it lies within a sunken stone city beneath the ocean, Arlaye, a place of warped architecture, where walls are not straight and pathways defy all known laws of physics. Some say that simply looking at Arlaye for too long can twist the human mind. The city is not dead. It is waiting for its master to awaken. Cthulhu does not behave like a living creature. It does not hunt. It does not seek food. It does not care about humanity. Its very existence is the threat. Its breath distorts reality. Its dreams drive people mad. And the most terrifying truth is this: Cthulhu is not inactive. It is only sleeping. And every sleep must eventually end. And those are some of the most terrifying sea monster legends ever told. This video was compiled from 67 different sources, so if there are any mistakes or things you'd like to add, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.